First things first, man. First things first, shameless plug. Make sure you guys go ahead and get the Make the Giants Great Again hat in the store. Should be a link right below. This is the perfect time to pick up one of those hats because guess what? We're still trying to make the Giants great again. So again, go ahead and grab a hat. It might get there, by next week. But never mind that. Here we are again. Week 4 preview, keys to victory, Giants versus the Chargers. And man, I'm sick and tired of just saying the same thing over and over and over again. Not because it doesn't work, because we're not seeing it. We're not having the correct execution. We're having issues on both sides of the ball. And it just gets tiring sometimes. But again, keys to victory are the keys to victory. So let's go ahead and start it again. Hello and welcome to Big Dash Knows. Big Dash knows what? New York Giants football. Let's go. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button if you are a New York Giants fan. The way that I'm a New York Giants fan. Bleed blue through and through the thick and through the thin. The ups and downs, the good, bad, and the ugly. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Now let's talk about this game. The 0-3 New York Giants versus the 3-0 LA Chargers. Chargers are on top of the world right now. They're on top of the AFC, arguably the best team in the AFC, really. Flying all the way to MetLife, Giant Stadium, I should say, but still, MetLife, the Meadowlands, whatever. Early game, maybe they're a little bit tired, exhausted from the flight, but I don't even want that excuse. I want the New York Giants to play well. Why? Because we have not been playing well. We have not put a complete game together yet. The defense hadn't put together a full 4 quarters yet. The offense had a bad first week, bad third week, and a fantastic second week. Why can we get it together? I begged for it last week. Can we get a complete game? We didn't get it against a team that was right there, ready to be beat. Like, no matter what anybody says, the Kansas City Chiefs are not the boogeymen. We saw what they look like live in the flesh. They are not the same team that they were. Maybe they get there, maybe they don't. I don't care. But the Chargers are who we thought the Kansas City Chiefs were. That's who the Chargers are. Real deal, good quarterback play, running games, getting it together despite the injuries on the offensive line, and that defense is very, very solid. So how do you beat a team like that? How do you beat a high-powered offense like that? You know how you do that? By keeping that high-powered offense off of the field. It's the same recipe that people, when they say, oh, with Patrick Mahomes or Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson, how do you beat these Jaden Daniels? You keep them off the field. Long drives. The offense with long sustaining drives, 10 plays, 12 plays, something like that. Eat up about 5 to 6 minutes off the clock. That's how you keep these guys off of the field. 8 minutes off the clock. That's how you keep these guys off the field, that high-powered offense off of the field. And again, they're still not 100% healthy, but they do have some guys that seem to be blossoming at the right time. Obviously, Ladd McConkey is Ladd McConkey. You would say that he's having a slower season than what he did last year. But you see the emergence of Quentin Johnston, and you're like, okay, well, now look at that. Then you look at the young tight end that they got, because Disley ended up getting hurt, but they still got, what's his name, OG over there, Gadsden. He's making plays. And then they got the young running back in Omarion Hampton doing his thing. Obviously, Najee Harris, is injured now and out for the season with the Achilles. But despite all that, next man up mentality for the Chargers, and they're out there being successful. Now, let's look at these New York Giants. Let's look at our New York Giants, right? For the most part, right now the line is healthy. We got all the same guys out there for the most part. I will say this too. I don't think the offensive line has been the problem this year. We kind of got the running game together last week against the Chiefs. Had a little bit of success with that before and after Tracy, left with the injury. But the biggest thing that has, to be talked about is the whole Jackson Dart is now the starter for the New York Giants. And that's where the keys of victory lie this week, at least for me. Because not only do Giants fans not know what we're going to see or get from Jackson Dart yet, we have an idea of what we might see. We have no clue for real. But I do know this. We're going to have to build a offense and a scheme that best fits Jackson Dart's skill set. You're going to have to add his legs into that equation. Not saying running quarterback sweeps or anything like that, but you will see the RPOs. You will see maybe some dives and some read action and stuff like that. You're going to see a lot of that. You might see a little bit of play action as well, but it all determines on if we're able to successfully run the ball. Because I'm seeing a lot of people saying, one of Jackson Dart's strengths is play action. Well, play action has not been a strong suit for the New York Giants. Well, what I will say is this: get the screen game involved. Get your tight ends involved early. First couple of passes for Jackson Dart, maybe not. Maybe it won't be one of those deep shots. Maybe you're not going to take a chance early. But get the ball out of his hand quick. Let him get comfortable. Let him feel the speed of the game. Because, again, this is one of those top defenses. This is not one of those vanilla preseason defenses that he's seen. This is not the same as the practice defense that he's seen, during this time he's been with the New York Giants. So we have to make it easy for Jackson Dart. Not saying simplifying the offense, but we have to make the reads easy, the scheme easy, just so he can get comfortable. And if he proves that he's more comfortable or that he's getting comfortable, then you go ahead and get to pushing the ball down the field. Also, you got to make sure he's comfortable with the offensive line. You know what I mean? Obviously, he's getting all the first team snaps this week, getting all the first team reps, getting familiar with the wide receivers that he's not used to throwing to. Neighbors, Wan'Dale Robinson, those guys. Slayton, he's getting used to these guys this week. He is familiar with Theo Johnson. Maybe, just maybe, Thomas Fidone gets a jersey this week. Maybe that happens. But we have to go to the quick game early and get him comfortable. And then after that, Jackson Dart will be Jackson Dart. He'll get comfortable. He'll get into his groove, and hopefully he'll make some plays. Now, he'll also make some mistakes. I hope people don't believe like it's just going to be flawless for him. We already understand that Brian Daboll pushed his chips to the center of the table early through the Hail Mary in the first quarter early by putting in Jackson Dart right now. Some people might believe he's in full-on save his job mode. It's a lot of bit of that, but it's also we need a spark on offense. Again, we thought we had the spark against Dallas, and it just proves to me that Dallas is just horrible on defense because the other two games didn't look anything like that, despite trying to force the ball downfield and getting picked off. So maybe Dallas is just that bad. But when I'm looking at this game specifically, because I can't look at anything else, the story of this game is going to be Jackson Dart, Mike Kafka, Brian Daboll. That's what it's going to be. We need to see a collaborative game plan that just fits this kid. He needs to be vocal, and I don't think he has any issues with being vocal of what he likes to do, the plays that he likes the best, the people that he likes to throw to and built, some chemistry with, I should say. Not camaraderie, but chemistry with. Obviously, you're probably not going to see little Jordan Humphreys. Thomas Fidone still might not be able to get a jersey, but out of the guys that are out there, I'm hoping that they had a good week of practice for the chemistry part of it. Now, switching it to the defense, man. Again, you have a quarterback that can do both. Can throw every pass. Also is athletic enough to get the first down with his feet and more. Big quarterback, 6'6", 240 pounds, right? Can see over the line, has no issues with any of that. We got to get the Justin Herbert fast. That's the main thing. With all of these injuries and backup guys being on the offensive line and the shifting that they had to do to make this offensive line what it is right now. This is one of those games where I'm looking at Dexter Lawrence like, hey, if show up now. We need the Green Monster. We need the Hulk. We need that Dexter Lawrence this week for sure. Brian Burns, I'm loving what you're doing. Hopefully the knee is still good. Haven't seen anything, about you missing practices or anything like that. We need you. Kayvon Thibodeau, we need you. Keep doing what you're doing. Do you have another gear in you? Maybe. We're gonna need that gear this week. Abdul Carter, man, I know that Shane Bowen has been doing some crazy things, as far as how he's lining you up, how he's getting you the snaps and stuff like that. But somehow, some way, can you rise above the coaching and make some plays today? And then outside of that, everybody just hold on to their responsibilities. The rest of the defensive line, hold on to your responsibilities. You got some playmakers out here on defense. Do your job and let the real playmakers, and I say that respectfully, we understand there's levels to this when it comes to players, man. I say it respectfully. Not saying like somebody is more important than the other, but you got your playmakers on defense, and then you have your guys that need to stick to their roles and in their assignments. And that brings me on to the secondary. Phillips, Flott, Adebo, you had a chance at 2 interceptions. You're better than that. You can't be dropping interceptions. You are absolutely better than that, and hopefully you're taking that the right way. Tyler Nubin coming along. They're playing you out of position still. People see that. The fans see that. We see what's going on. We know we have an idea of what your strengths are. You are a versatile safety. I'm not going to take that away from you, but we know what your strengths are. What we've seen, they got you playing out of position, in my opinion. I'm not going to speak for anybody else. Other people have said that as well. Javon Holland, we need that 2023 Javon Holland. That's what we need from you. A leader on defense, a leader in the secondary, a playmaker. We see it here and there, not consistently enough. Andrew Phillips, keep doing what you're doing, being aggressive. Obviously, you had a couple pass interferences. It is what it is. Stuff like that happens, man. When they get you out of the position, again, and you're covering downfield, we know that's not just you covering somebody 40 yards down the field. That's not what you do best. Respectfully, again, I'm just saying. Everything underneath, crossing routes, helping support the run, that's all you. We understand that getting a nice jam on somebody, if you can, getting your hands on somebody legally, not really jamming because you're in the slot, but still. And then, Flott, continue to be you. Tay Banks, please be more aggressive. Please do not take plays off. When I say that, I mean finish. There was a couple chances where you could have made the tackle and you didn't. I don't know if you're just, there's other people here, they can make the play versus me, because I've seen you be aggressive. I've seen you actually make tackles. I've seen you go in there and throw your shoulder in there. And I also seen you not do it. Make that decision, I don't know, in the heat of the moment, just like, okay, not this play. That's what I'm saying, again, respectfully. Got to do our jobs. Got to get off the field on third down. Got to make them pay too. If Herbert, declares as a runner, got to make them pay. Got to give them something to think about. That's the one thing that the Giants defense has not done yet, has made these quarterbacks, or give these quarterbacks something to think about. You saw with Jaden Daniels, even if we got to him, they never really worried after that. Patrick Mahomes was never really worried after that. Dak Prescott was never really worried. So that's 3 quarterbacks right there that were never really worried, even though we got to them a few times. They never felt like they were actually in danger. You never seen panic come from these guys. We got to try to do that this week against Justin Herbert, man. And that's all I got, really, man, because there's a lot of people that can break down the X's and O's. They'll tell you a bunch of strategies, and maybe they work and maybe they don't. That seems like I'm doing the same thing, but that you'll get that information from somewhere. I need a gut check for the New York Giants. Offense, defense, special teams, I need a gut check. And whoever the kicker is, make the kicks. That's it at the end of the day. Stay healthy and make the kicks. That's it. Extra points, field goals, the punter. Make the kicks. Do your job. That's for everybody else. Special teams, and all that. But man, offense and defense, can we get complimentary football? Please. Please. And maybe we can't, but I'm hoping that we can. That's what I want to see from the New York Giants this week, man. Give me something to cheer about again, especially at home. Who knows? I got a feeling that there's going to be a plane flying over that building, or over a stadium, I should say. There's probably going to be a plane flying over that stadium again, and I can't wait to see what it actually says. Because right now, it could be Jackson Dart era has begun, or John Mara is still not fixed. It could be a couple of those things, but for me, I just want to see the New York Giants win a game in 2025. Let's go out there and win. Just win, baby. That's what Al Davis said, right? Just win, baby. And with that being said, I want to thank everybody for vibing with me. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And from one Giants fan to another, this is Big Dash Knows, Big Blue Nation. Let's go.
Yeah.